Hey guys, it's Raquel back at it again with another YouTube video. Thank you for tuning in again, and I'm just going to get right into the video because this topic is pretty important to me. So today I will be talking about what it's like being a black girl at a PWI. If you didn't know, PWI is a predominantly white institution. I go to Bucknell University, as you guys probably already know already. And I just really want to tell the truth about what it's like being a black girl here, because I feel like I had preconceived notions coming in. And I feel like if I would have known about all these things, then maybe I would have, just took more time picking my college. Not saying that I regret going to Bucknell. I overall like my experience here at Bucknell, but there's definitely things that I think black girls specifically should know before they come to any PWI, just so they can prepare themselves mentally and in some ways, I think, physically. So the first point I would say is being a black girl on campus, you're going to experience hypervisibility and invisibility at the same time in terms of how people treat you. So a lot of times when I'm in class or I'm walking on campus, I feel like all eyes are on me, and that if I raise my hand in class, I feel like everyone's always looking at me. I mean, as they usually are, but it just feels like super like, uh-oh, like what's the black girl about to say? You know what I'm saying? And on the other hand of that, sometimes you feel invisible. So sometimes you can be talking, you can be in group works, and people won't listen to you. Or you could be doing you could be trying to figure out a group problem together, and you can propose the correct answer and no one will believe you, or they'll be like, are you sure this is the right answer? And me as a student who does pretty well in school, that can hurt, because I've all my life, I most of the time know what I'm talking about. So just to have that questioned can sometimes be very daunting, especially in classes that are like surrounding your major. So that's one of the difficulties, I would say, hypervisibility and invisibility. The second struggle about being a black girl on a PWI campus, specifically Bucknell, I would say that the dating scene and like the, relationship type thing, black love, that's not really a thing here, if that makes sense. I feel like the dating scene here is very toxic, and it's very much it can make you question a lot of things about like your self-worth and how you view yourself as beautiful and worth it, because I feel like, unfortunately, I have a preference for black men, and I feel like a lot of black men on campus, they either prefer white women, or they even talk down about the black women on campus. Again, it's not all of them, but I feel like there's this culture here that kind of puts the needs of black women on the back burner, and that's very apparent in the dating/relationship scene. There's not a lot of, there's just like very much lack of respect by everyone, including the black men, if that makes sense. It's not everybody's fault. Again, that's like a big thing in the entire black community, but I feel like when you go to a PWI and you have these expectations, if you watched all these movies as you were a kid about how college would be, how you would find love, here, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's very, very difficult, especially because it's such a small black community on campus. The third one I would say about struggles being a black girl going here would be accessibility to things like a hairdresser and like a good nail salon, or just normal things that I can readily access in PG County. If I want to get my hair done, I can go 5 minutes up the street. I can book appointments with braiders, people who flat iron. Here, you're not going to get any of that. You really have to just make sure that your friends are, you have friends that know how to do hair. I can do box braids, so I do some people's box braids. My friend Bryani, she does really good like lace installs, but you're not going to get that professional catering of, getting your hair done, because that's just not in this Lewisburg community. I would say you can go to Walmart and maybe get like Eco Styler gel if you really needed some, but other than that, like a lot of the stores, you don't get any of the hair products or, beauty products that we would readily have in a predominantly black community. And fourth, I would say, when you're walking around campus, it feels very much sometimes like you're like living a double life. And I'm sure that's like for a lot of college students, but the code switching that has to happen most of the time can be exhausting. Like, you go to a class and you really have to, as all black people know, you really have to switch up how you're talking, and not necessarily who you are, but just how you're presenting yourself. And I feel like that's get tiring because white students, they don't really have to go through that mental switch and that like quick jerk between one personality and the other. They can kind of just be themselves. And I feel like a lot of places on campus I can't really be my true self. There are some spaces where I do feel comfortable, but that is like not really common, if that makes sense. Okay, my last con would be just the feeling of imposter syndrome. So I got a full ride scholarship here, but sometimes in my classes I still am like, am I just here because I'm black and they needed some more black people? Or am I here because, I earned it? So I feel like I've gotten over that hump now, but definitely as a freshman, I had that lingering thought in the back of my mind. A lot of my friends have had that too. And it really can hold you back from reaching your fullest potential, because that goes again to feeling, hyper visible and invisible. You don't want to mess up in your classes, but you also don't want to, you just want people to respect you just for you as a student instead of anything else, basically. So those are a bunch of like negative things. I hope I'm not like scaring anybody too much. I'm just trying to tell the truth about the experience here at Bucknell. The things that I do cherish and I like about Bucknell's campus is the fact that I do have close girlfriends that I can confide in. Through the posse program, I've met like my closest friends. I'm also a cheerleader, so my close friend Beth, she's on that team, and she's really been like my beacon of, happiness and reassurance. And so have all my other friends here at Bucknell. So not saying you're going to be unhappy. It's your experience. It's what you make it. But sometimes outside of your comfort zone, it can get a little shocking, especially if you come from a predominantly black area like I do. And I just make sure that I do take my blackness now as I never am ashamed of my blackness at this school. So whenever I see opportunities for me to address racism or make sure that I'm making a difference where I can, I'm always making my voice heard. You will never see me anymore. As a freshman, I kind of was a little more quiet in my classes, but now you will never see me shy away from any challenge, or if a classmate is saying something problematic in class, like I will say something to that person or the teacher. I just feel like you really have to kind of just grow your confidence here. And that goes on to my next point. After all of that's said and done, like if once you get over it, like we're gonna all come out of it stronger people. As black women, I feel like we always have this expectation to be strong, which is already unfair, but I do feel very self-assured and confident in myself that I'm getting through this experience, even though I'm facing all these hardships, and so are my friends. And I feel like, I can applaud all the black women on my campus because, we go through probably the most out of any other demographic on campus. So we take on roles of residential advisors, we take on roles of tutors, we are always starting clubs, and I think that can get tiring, but we all are in the moment, and we're all trying to seize the differences that we can make. So that was a pretty short video, but I just wanted to get on here, tell you guys a little bit the truth, because sometimes can get obscured about like what really is and what really isn't, and how it's like being a black girl on campus. I might do a part 2 to this video with my friends so they can tell you a little bit more about their experiences. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about this topic. Are you a black girl who goes to a PWI, or even I would like to hear from the black girls that go to HBCUs? Because all of our experiences are valid, all of our experiences are important. So I'll see you guys next week, hopefully, and have a blessed week. For all my black queens out there, keep going, keep pushing, because you can do it, and you're gonna be great, period. See you guys.